Hello, football fans. Welcome to Aces Field as we're getting ready for action in week number 3 of the high school football campaign, the final week of non-conference action for schools in the Green Meadows Conference. And really, as we head into tonight's game, I'm not going to lie to you, this is far from the marquee matchup in Northwest Ohio football on this particular Friday night. The Aces back home after going down to Crestview and losing a heartbreaker 41-40 last week to drop to 0-2 on the season, a game which they could have won if they'd done a little better job converting extra points. They had 6 touchdowns in the game, but were only able to convert on 2 of those for a couple of 2-point conversions to give them 40 points, and they got nipped 41-40. And the Edon Bombers have not fared much better in their first 2 outings. They have been defeated a couple of times as well. So both of these teams are coming into the contest tonight with identical 0-2 records. So again, not a big draw tonight, but a good crowd coming from Edon, and also a big crowd here supporting the Aces tonight, as both these squads want to get out from underneath the stone they're under. They want to pick up their first win tonight. I would imagine, on paper at least, you would be leaning a little bit more towards the Aces being able to come up with the win here this evening. But that's why we play the game. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. It's the Aces hosting the Bombers of Edon here in week number 3 high school football on Hicksville Community Television. Good evening, everybody. I'm Bill Murphy with HIX-TV. Amy Murphy here with me in the press box, running the camera this evening as we are getting ready for Friday night football in Northwest Ohio. And again, both these teams have taken it on the chin the first couple times out. The Aces, of course, getting blanked by Archbold in their season opener, losing by 1 point down in Crestview, Convoy, on last Friday, back home, and hoping to put one in the win column before they start the GMC portion of the schedule next week. And their GMC opener is going to be on the road. The Aces will be taking the long trip over to Holgate to get the GMC portion of the season underway next Friday. But that's next Friday. And we're here to talk about tonight's game. The coin toss held a little while ago. The Aces are going to be receiving the opening kick, so they will be on offense first. And the Bombers will be kicking off. They are getting things teed up and ready to go. The Aces had their fair share of problems last week. They had a huge number of penalties for a lot of yards. And again, some troubles converting on the extra point after scoring a touchdown. They were able to get into the end zone 6 times, but it still was not quite enough. Bombers lining it up. Austin Keese, their kicker. Keese, it's a roller, and it's grabbed by Parker Thiel. Thiel trying to get up around the 30-yard line. He's still on his feet, and it looks like he powered ahead for a couple more yards after contact was made. Parker Thiel will take it to the 32-yard line, and that's where the Aces will get things going for this offensive stanza, 1st and 10. Big thank you to our football broadcast underwriters making our coverage possible here tonight on Hicksville Community Television. Our good friends at Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford right here in Hicksville. Jake Greer, the senior quarterback, dropping back in the shotgun, as is typical, as the Aces look to get this game going. Pitch back, and then it's going to be a reverse handed off to Thiel. Thiel following Greer. Thiel gets first down yardage. Parker's still on his feet down the sidelines. He breaks free. He's going to take it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Aces. And we're going to look at the field because we had a few of these called back last week, but I don't see any flags on the field, so it's going to stand. So the Aces' first play from scrimmage, Parker Thiel scampers 68 yards into the end zone to put Hicksville up early, 6-0. And they're going to tee it up, and it looks like they are going to try for the extra point again. Number 22, who is not on my roster. Puts it up, splits the uprights. We'll have to check. I wonder if we have two new international exchange students this year, one from France and one from Germany. I'm not sure if he's either one of them, but when we get a chance, we will go over next door and we will see who number 22 is so we can fill in his name. So bear with us until we get a chance to do that. Well, I just went next door and checked, and they looked at me and said, we were hoping you would know. So we're not sure who number 22 is, but we are going to find out before this game is through. So the Aces, boy, that took them 26 seconds to get into the end zone. That got the faithful here riled up. Kick is short. Comes to rest down at the 25-yard line, scooped up and brought down about the 30-yard line, it looks like. Maybe a few yards past. We'll see where the official mark is going to be. They're going to put the nose of the football right at the 30-yard line, and that is where the Bombers will set up shop. Victor Heat. Okay. I think he's the exchange student from France. Handoff, and that looked like it was Siebenaller, number 11, banging forward for a couple. Okay. Like I said, Victor, I think it's Victor Keith. Anyway, I think he is the exchange student with us from France, but I don't know. We'll just call him Victor. He's done a great job so far. It was a good-looking kick. Carson Brandt, the quarterback for the Bombers. Brandt, quarterback keeper, looking to make something happen. He's going to get swarmed under and drop back down around the 30-yard line. That's going to bring up third and about 10. So they gain a yard on their first down play. Their second down play loses them a yard. So 3rd and 10 now for Edon. Brandt, whatever play Brandt called, it had all of them checking their wristbands to see just what they need to do. Split backs behind Brandt. He rolls out, looking downfield, puts the ball in the air, caught. Catch made by number 9, Kelby Sapp. Sapp, 6'1", sophomore, moves the chains as they get the required yardage here on 3rd down and get the ball all the way out to the 44-yard line. Fresh set of downs now for the Bombers. One out wide on either side and split backs. And we're going to have a whistle and a flag, and that's going to be against the Aces. Encroachment. So they violate the neutral zone. Use a Star Trek term there, and give the Bombers an easy 5, 1st and 5, now at the 49-yard line, as Edon looks to break into Hicksville territory for the first time tonight. Brandt takes a snap. Quick handoff, nothing doing. They were waiting for Siebenaller. He goes nowhere. Looks like Siebenaller might have lost a yard. So loss of a yard on the 1st and 5 makes it 2nd and 6. Again, split backs on either side of Brandt, working out of the shotgun. Takes a snap, drop back, looks to pass. He's in trouble. Brandt tucks it under and takes off. Brandt going forward. That'll be close to first down yardage. I think he's going to be just a little bit short. Well, we'll see where they mark the ball. Where the official is standing now, looks like it would be a first down. It's going to be close. It's either going to be 3rd and short or a 1st and 10. They're going to bring out the markers. We'll have an official measurement. 8:53 here left to go in the first quarter. And the Bombers waiting for the measurement to see if they've got themselves a fresh set of downs. And they have. Nose of the football. First down, Edon. As they move into Aces territory for the first time tonight. The ball at the Hicksville 46-yard line. Aces getting their defense set. Carson Brandt calls the play. High snap. Quick handoff to Siebenaller. Siebenaller's got some running room. Siebenaller diving forward. Looks like he's going to get about 9 yards on the carry. Travis Siebenaller, the big senior, takes it down to the 39-yard line to make it 2nd and 3. Gain of 7. Carson Brandt on a 2nd and 3. Another high snap, but again, manages to handle it, tucks it under, and takes off straight ahead. Might have got a yard. I don't think so. No gain on the play, 3rd and 3 now. Bombers have shown they can put it in the air if they need to. Right now, still look like they're trying to establish their running game. Again, just a couple of guys out wide. Again, a handoff to Siebenaller. Siebenaller looking to turn the corner. Flags fly in the backfield. He's grabbed and dragged down at about the 38-yard line. And that's going to be a hold, but it's going to be a hold on the Bombers. So that'll move them back 10 from the spot of the infraction, which is going to be the 40-yard line. So that should move the Edon squad back. Oh, no, they're going to say it occurred. All right, yep. I'm going to put it at the 50-yard line. So 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which they say was the 40-yard line. Moves it back, so now it'll be 3rd and about 14 for Edon. Trailing 7-0 here in the first quarter of this high school football game. Snap. Carson rolling out, puts the ball in the air. It's caught, but it won't be enough for the first down. The 41-yard line. So Brandt makes the throw, and they get some of the lost yardage back, but still a 4th and about 5, staring them in the face. And it looks like the Bombers are going to go for it here, at least so far. Still looking over towards the sideline. They get the play called in, check their wristbands. Brandt takes the snap, drops back, looks downfield. Brandt taken down in the backfield, sacked. And the Aces will take over on downs. Thiel was the one who got him, dropped him at about the 47-yard line of the Aces. So good field position for Hicksville to take over as they put an end to the first offensive drive by the Edon Bombers. 6:08 to go. And the Aces offense back on the field. They scored on their very first play from scrimmage after the opening kickoff. Greer hangs onto it, but they catch him by the ankles, and Jake goes down, might have got a yard. Faked the handoff to Langham. Tucked it under, but as I said, they got him by the ankles. Greer goes down, and it's 2nd and 9 for the Aces. Greer dropping back now, looking downfield, airing it out. Overthrows Thiel. Incomplete. That'll make it 3rd and 9. Going for the gusto that time and just overthrew Thiel. Thiel was open, but like I said, the ball was about 5 yards in front of him. Clock will stop on the incomplete pass. They'll get back and reset. Greer flips it back to Langham. Langham gets his legs taken out underneath him, and he's brought down after the gain of about a yard. It'll be 4th and 8, and here comes the punting squad for the Aces, as they just weren't able to get anything going offensively that time around. Greer drops back to punt. And got too many men on the field. Yep. Number 60 was running to get off the field in time, but he didn't quite make it, so now the snap. Greer gets his foot into it. Punt comes down at about the 33-yard line and bounces out of bounds. Now they're going to mark it at the 31. So a bit of an Aces bounce. As I said, Greer puts it near the sideline, and it bounces out 31-yard line, and that's where the Bombers will set up shop. 4:57 left in the opening quarter. So far the game moving along pretty well. We had a really long first quarter down at Crestview Convoy last week. Well over an hour in actual time. Brandt back in quarterback. Up, caught by Siebenaller. Siebenaller catches it on the run. He's got some room. Holds up a little bit, trying to cut inside and go back up into the field, and that's where the Aces get him. But not before he gets into Hicksville territory, and they take him out at about the 44-yard line. 1st and 10. Nice catch and run by Travis Siebenaller for Edon. As just like that, the Bombers get back onto the Aces side of the field. Clock stops while they reset the down markers, and we're ready to go. Brandt takes the snap. Again, hand off. This time to number 5, Austin Keese. Keese might have got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10. Again, it's a whiteout night for Aces fans here tonight, so they encouraged all the faithful to wear their white. Well, fair number of white outfits down in the student section. Brandt back in the shotgun. Rolls out. Quick hitter again to Keese. Keese catches the ball, but kind of loses his footing and falls forward. He picks up maybe a couple. It'll be 3rd and long for the Bombers. Ball placed at the 42-yard line. Brandt takes the snap. Looking to throw, puts the ball in the air, caught. I think that's Manahan, number 22, making the grab. Riley Manahan catches the ball at the 30-yard line. Manahan, 5'10", junior. So the Bombers, fresh set of downs, and they move the ball down to the 30-yard line on the Aces. Looking to get into the end zone and draw even in this game. They trail right now 7-0. Siebenaller with the carry. Siebenaller drives towards the 25-yard line. He's going to be stopped a little short. They're going to mark the ball down at about the 26-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7. Brandt hanging on to the ball, trying to turn the corner. He does, dives forward. Now they're going to say nope. They're going to mark him about a yard shy, so he must have stepped on the sideline. So that'll make it 3rd and 1. As Brandt carries down to the 21-yard line. So Bombers one more shot here on 3rd down, looking to get into the red zone and move the chains. Carson Brandt, again working out of the shotgun, and timeout, Edon. So the Bombers going to take their first timeout here with 2:26 left to go in the first quarter. Looking at a 3rd and 1 from the Aces 21-yard line. Again, they want to punch it inside the 20. Move the chains, get a fresh set of downs, get into the Aces red zone for the first time tonight, and try to get this score evened up. Right now, Aces with the early touchdown. They ran the first play from scrimmage after the kickoff into the end zone for the early 7-0 lead. A game, again, that both these teams very much wanting to win. Neither team has racked up a victory yet in the first 2 weeks of the high school football season. And I know for a fact Coach Smith really does not want to go into the start of the GMC season with an 0-3 record. Aces break huddle, and so do the Bombers, so we'll get ready to get back into action here. Split back, Siebenaller and Keese on either side of quarterback Carson Brandt for the Edon Bombers. Brandt takes the snap, hands it to Siebenaller. Siebenaller, I think, got him their first down. get it just barely across the 20-yard line, and that's all they needed to do. Fresh set of downs, first and 10, Bombers from the Aces 20. Shift personnel around a little bit here for the next play. 2:08 to go in the first quarter. Handoff. Nope, I take that back. Quarterback keeper for Brandt. Brandt inside the 10. That should be first and goal for Edon. And it is. Carson Brandt, quarterback keeper, picks up 11 yards, takes it down to the 9, and gets a first and goal for the Bombers. Brandt gets his squad set, takes the snap. Hand off to Siebenaller. Siebenaller shakes and bakes and powers down inside the 5. Let's see where they mark him. I think they're going to put him down at the 3, and they do. Siebenaller gets him down to the 3. Second and goal. Clock continues to run. 1:10 left in our opening quarter here at Aces Field. High snap, handoff to Keese, and everybody falling in place. It looks like he might have lost a yard. Keese gets to the 4, and that's where the Aces stop him, so it'll be third down. Goal to go, as we've got 45 seconds left in the quarter. Clock continues to run. Third down. Here come the Bombers. Brandt takes the snap, looking to throw. Puts the ball in the air. He's got a man open, caught. Siebenaller makes the grab into the end zone. Touchdown. Travis Siebenaller with a 4-yard reception to score the touchdown for the Edon Bombers. They draw a little bit closer. 29 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. It's now Aces 7 and the Edon Bombers 6. They're going to set up to kick the extra point as well. And it looks like their kicker, Carson Brandt, and it's going to be held by Siebenaller. So here we go. All set. Kick is up. No good. Low kick, and I think one of the Aces might have got a hand on it as it passed over the line of scrimmage as well. But the extra point conversion attempt fails. And so we've got a 1-point game here at Aces Field on this Friday night. 29 seconds to go in the opening quarter, and it's the Aces leading the Bombers 7-6. Hicksville waiting to get their hands back on the football offensively. They'll be receiving the kickoff here shortly. Bombers huddled up and talking things over. They're going to break huddle now. It'll be Keese kicking off for Edon. Tunis back deep for the Aces along with Parker Thiel and Landon Turnbull, number 7. The deep men tonight. Keese gets his foot into it. comes down to number 7, Turnbull. Turnbull going across the field, looking to get around the corner, and he does. Turnbull across the 40, still on his feet. Nears midfield, they take him down at about the 46-yard line. A flag is thrown at the end of the play. So right now the Aces will have it 1st and 10 at about the 46-yard line. But there's a flag on the field, so we'll wait and see. Conference going on with the officials over on the far sideline. And we're waiting for the official word. Aces offense coming out onto the field. And that's going to be a personal foul against the Aces. So another, the first personal foul tonight. They got bit by him a few times last week, so they'll move him back 15. So now it'll be 1st and 10 from the Aces 32-yard line. Greer, handoff. Howard straight ahead. And that was number 26, Brickle. Zach Brickle with the carry. Picks up about 6. Another handoff, and this time they get out to about the 40-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 2. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. So after 12 minutes, it's the Aces leading the visiting Edon Bombers 7-6. And when we get back into action, it'll be the Aces ball. They'll have a 3rd down and 2 yards to go on their own 40-yard line. And while we've got some time here between quarters, we want to take some time, as we always do, to say a big thank you to our football broadcast underwriters here on Hicksville Community Television. And they are, of course, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford, once again lending us their underwriting support and making it possible for us to bring you Aces football action all season long here on HIX-TV. Remember, if you're in the market for a vehicle, whether you want one that's brand spanking new or pre-owned, car, truck, van, or SUV, stop by. Check out the great selection they have on the lots, or check out the entire inventory online at jimschmidtauto.com. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, underwriting our football coverage again for the 2017 season here on HIX-TV. Greer takes the opening snap. He'll have 1st down yardage. And they'll finally bring him down at the 45-yard line, but that'll be enough to move the chains. So Greer keeps it on 3rd down and gets the Aces a fresh set of downs. Greer working out of the shotgun, puts Tunis in motion, gives it to Peyton. Peyton finds a hole. Peyton near the sideline is grabbed around the shoulder pads and dragged down just short of the Bombers' 45-yard line. Gain of about 9. They'll put it on the 46-yard line. 2nd and 1 for the Aces. Greer directing some traffic. Now drops back into the shotgun, takes a snap, looks downfield, puts the ball in the air, caught. Parker Thiel makes the grab, and they get him by the ankles and bring him down at the 35-yard line, but not before they move the chains once more. 1st down, Aces. Ball on the 35-yard line now, 1st and 10, Hicksville. A little bit of the hurry-up offense going. This worked well for him last week at Crestview. Again, Greer looking downfield. He's in trouble. Jake's going to have to scramble, dives forward. He gets inside the 30, down to about the 29-yard line. So Greer not able to find anybody open downfield, but still manages to scamper for about 7 yards. Now they're going to give him credit for 6. 2nd and 4 for the Aces. Again, the ball on the 29-yard line of the Bombers now. Again, Aces not taking a lot of time. Pitch out and nothing doing. Pitched it back to Brickle, and Brickle ran into a couple of defenders almost right away, and he'll go down for about a 3-yard loss at about the 32-yard line. Clock running, 10:25 to go here in the first half. Aces a 3rd and 7 now on the 32-yard line, and that's a jump number 54. That's Shane Zulch. Got caught by the hard snap and went into the neutral zone, so the Aces will get 5 back. And that'll go from 3rd and 7 now to 3rd and a long 1, so call it 3rd and 2. Move down to the 27-yard line. Greer again dropping back, puts the ball in the air, caught by Field. Field across the middle of the field and somersaults into the end zone, touchdown. Parker Thiel, I thought they were going to get him by the ankles, but he held it onto his balance and stumbled forward and dived into the end zone doing a somersault. Touchdown Aces. Parker with the catch and run from 27 yards out to make it 13-6, and here comes number 22, Victor. And Victor puts his leg into it again. That young man can kick. 14-6. Could have used him last Friday. 10:01 to go here in the first half, and the Aces score again. They convert, and they lead 14-6 here at Aces Field, week number 3 of the high school football campaign. Glad to have you with us here on Hicksville Community Television. Start of another school year underway. Hope you guys all had a good Labor Day holiday weekend. So the Aces are going to be kicking it off to the Bombers. And Edon seeing if they can even up this score again. Take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie things up. But 10 minutes on the clock, there's time enough to do it. The kick is up, and it is caught by Siebenaller. Siebenaller at the 35-yard line. Dives forward to about the 37, 38. Travis Siebenaller catching the kick, and looks like about the 38-yard line is where the Bombers are going to set up shop. 9:56 to go in the first half. Edon Bombers Band making the trip with them. And the Aces Pride Marching Band, of course, here as well. So we've got some halftime entertainment coming up. Brandt with his split backs behind him and a whistle and an official timeout. Equipment issue noticed by one of the officials, taken care of. All right. Snap. Brandt drops back, puts it in the air, off the hands of intended receiver Kelby Sapp, and incomplete. 2nd and 10. break huddle. And again, they check the plays on the wristband, and here we go. Brandt takes the snap. Quick handoff to Keese. Keese still on his feet as a flag is thrown. Keese turns the corner, might have gotten about a yard or so, but again, a flag on the play. So Austin Keese, as of right now, has picked up a couple of yards. And we'll wait and see what the flag is. It's thrown where you usually will see some kind of a hold or whatever. And it's going to be a hold against the Bombers. Yep. So Edon doesn't do themselves any favors. They commit the hold. And the 2-yard gain is negated, and instead they get moved way back to about the 24-yard line. Where it's going to be second and a long way. Let's just put it that way. So a 2nd and 24 for the Edon Bombers. 9:39 to go here in the half. Snap. Brandt drops back, looking downfield, puts it in the air. He's got a man open. And there's going to be a flag on that because even across the field I could see the hand pulling on the jersey. And I think they're going to call that one on Sanderson. It looks like he was guilty of a little defensive pass interference on that play. We'll wait for the official word, but we're moving everything around here. So it's going to be defensive pass interference on the Aces. And so they'll march it ahead. Okay. So they should get 15. And that will pretty much that'll pretty much offset the holding penalty. So they'll get the down back, and they'll move the ball out to the 39-yard line. And that should be an automatic. Okay, so it'll remain second down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 39-yard line. Eventually we'll get it all straight here. Brandt is going to keep it himself this time. Nothing doing. Carson might have got back to the original line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 10 for Edon. Snap. Brandt rolling out, looking downfield. Gets the ball away, and a diving attempt, no good. Kelby Sapp just out of reach. Pass is incomplete. That'll bring up 4th and 10. And I'm going to guess we're going to see the punting squad for the Edon Bombers. 8:47 to go in the half. Tunis and Thiel dropping back in anticipation of a punt. Long snap. Keese gets a hold of it, but he not able to get much of his foot into it, but it's going to take a nice roll for the Bombers. And it'll be down at about the 23, 24-yard line. So Keese lucked out there and managed to turn nothing into something. He had a high snap. He was barely able to get the ball down. He really wasn't able to get a good kick, but he got a nice end-over-end roll and it was able to have his coverage people get downfield. So 23-yard line is where they will mark it officially. 1st and 10, Hicksville. Aces back on offense and leading 14-6. Quick throw out to Tunis. Tunis works his way through traffic. Tunis breaking free. Got an angle on him. Keese, he manages to elude that tackle. And they finally get him. Ooh. And there'll be a late hit there. Talk about a targeting spear shot. Wow. I don't think that there's an official that didn't throw a flag on that play. I haven't seen that much yellow laundry hit the turf in a long, long time. They got Tunis, and they brought him down at about the 25-yard line. And then as he was going down, one of the Bomber players came in and just laid into Peyton Tunis. And that's the type of thing that, I mean, that's just dangerous. That's all there is to it. You could really hurt somebody. That's the type of thing that they avoid, or they do everything to discourage. So, like I said, a lot of flags. And that'll, of course, be a personal foul. I'm not sure whether they're going to make it a late hit or targeting. But either way, they'll tack 15 on to the end of the run because it's a spot foul. It happened at the end of the run. So that's going to move the ball deep into the red zone, all the way down to, I think, the 13-yard line. Tunis is still in the game, too, so he popped up and shook it off. First and 10 Aces at the Bombers' 13-yard line, 8:21 to go before the half. Greer looking to throw. Puts it up. Deflected at the last minute. Nice play, number 22, Riley Manahan breaking it up for the Bombers. Pass is incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 13. I'm going to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to see the Aces score. But if they don't, I'm really curious to see if they bring in number 22 to try to kick the field goal if they come up on a 4th down. Greer hangs on to it himself. I don't think I'm going to need to worry about it. Greer down to about the 1-yard line, it looks like. And that'll give him a first and goal. So Jake Greer gets the Aces a first and goal on the 3-yard line, and there goes the laundry again. Flags fly everywhere. It's a false start against the Aces. Back them up 5 to the 8-yard line now. I will say this, though, even with the infractions, the Aces have considerably improved the number of fouls that they have committed in this first half compared to the first half last week down in Convoy. So, 7:50 left in the half. Greer in the shotgun. Hands off to Tunis. Tunis, there's nobody there. They fooled everybody with the reverse. And Peyton Tunis, fittingly enough, carries it into the end zone from 8 yards out. And the Aces go up now by 14, 20-6. The edge ever closer to that 30-point margin and getting that continuous clock going for them. They're about halfway there. Number 22, Victor in. And he's just dead on. Victor splits the uprights for the 3rd time tonight. As I said, we should have had him last week. We instead of losing by 1, we'd have won by 3. If he'd gotten all 4 of the attempts. That's all right. We're not going to cry over spilled milk. 21-6 now. And again, Peyton Tunis, 8-yard run into the end zone. Victor Keene coming in and kicking the extra point. He's 3 for 3. Aces up now 21-6, 15-point margin. So the Bombers are going to have their work cut out for them here in the remainder of this first half. 7:42 left to go before intermission. Aces getting ready to tee it up. Kick it off. Number 34, Travian Tunis. Setting the ball on the tee. Tunis, low liner, scooped up back at about the 24-yard line by Siebenaller. Siebenaller reverses his field and gets swarmed under at about the 42-yard line. Nice return for Travis Siebenaller as he gets his team some fairly decent field position at the 43-yard line to start off this offensive series. First and 10 Bombers. Again, 7:33 left to go here in the opening half of this football game. Make it the 42-yard line. First and 10. Bombers break huddle, and here we go. Brandt. Takes the snap, hands it off to Siebenaller. Siebenaller, a flag is thrown on the Aces side of the line. Siebenaller gets down to about the 44-yard line. And it'll be a hold against the Bombers. So they're being bit by the penalty bug tonight, as it looks like the hold near the end of the play, so that should drop them back to about the 35-yard line. And that'll make it first and about 17. Restart the clock now that they've reset the ball. So after the holding, it's a first and 17 for Edon. Carson Brandt. Hands off to Travis Siebenaller. Siebenaller. Tunis and a couple others waiting for him, and another flag thrown at the end of that play. Tunis was in there, as was Braden Langham. And that's going to be another hold against the Bombers. Ouch. And with that, it's going to remain first down, but now it's back to the 26-yard line. And that's going to be first and 20-something for the Bombers. First and 25. Okay, first and 25. Wow. Back-to-back holding calls have really put Edon in a hole on this offensive possession. They've got to get all the way to the Aces' 48-yard line to get a first down. Brandt with the quarterback keeper. Brandt, positive yardage, gets out to about the 33-yard line. He'll get some of it back. That'll bring up second down and 18. So Brandt gets him 7. And now a second and 18 facing the Bombers. Clock continues to roll, nearing 6 minutes, about the halfway point of this second quarter. Brandt looking to throw. Batted away at the line. Incomplete. I think that was number 60 that got his hand on it. Dylan Meek just smacked that ball to the turf. So 3rd and 18 now for the Bombers, who at least get the benefit of the clock stopping on the incomplete pass. So here comes Edon with a 3rd and long, 18 yards to move the chains. Carson Brandt dropping back and looking to air it out again. Puts the ball in the air on a rope and really overthrows just about everybody. I think the closest person to catching that ball was Sanderson for the Aces. So that's going to bring up 4th and 18, and no doubt about it, the punting squad coming on. Keese is going to drop back to kick it away for Edon. And again, you'll have Tunis dropping back deep along with Parker Thiel. As the back-to-back holding calls were just too much for the Bombers to overcome on this offensive stanza. Keese gets his foot into it. Tunis going to make the catch. Tunis turns the corner. Tunis still on his feet. Tunis near the 40-yard line. They finally get their arms around him, and they'll bring him down at about the 37, 38. Peyton Tunis making the grab, and he was off to the races. He sort of faked a handoff to Thiel as he went by him. Got around the corner and headed upfield, and he gets all the way to the 37-yard line of the Bombers before they bring him down. Aces ball, 1st and 10. So Hicksville back on offense. They got 5 minutes and 40 seconds to work with. Greer slapped down. Number 3, Connor Connor Skiles stepping in front of that one and batting it to the turf. Aces break huddle, and here we go. Greer dropping back to throw again. Puts it in the air, caught. Catch made by Zach Brickle, and Brickle gets him down near the 30-yard line. Near the 20-yard line. Zach Brickle, number 26, making the grab. Brickle, the 6-foot, 165-pound junior. Getting some playing time here tonight. Greer one more time, puts it in the air. This time, just overthrows Braden Langham. Langham was just about a half a step behind it. That'll be 2nd and 10. But give the Aces credit. I mean, you got a 1st and 10. You're down around the 20-yard line. Why not take a crack at it? So far, they've been doing well, moving the chains. So lateral out to Tunis. Tunis makes the grab. Tunis straight ahead, still on his feet. Tunis bouncing off of defenders, and he scampers inside the 10-yard line and should give the Aces a 1st and goal. Peyton Tunis taking it to the Bombers here tonight. And once again, down to the 7-yard line, 1st and goal, Hicksville. Greer puts the ball on the turf. I think he might have lost it. He did. Jake Greer fumbles the snap, and the Bombers recover at about the 9-yard line. So Amy says number 52 was the one that snatched it away. That's Chris Ferris. Ferris Jr. on the defensive line. So he makes a big play, and that's our first turnover of the night. The Aces lose the fumble. And with 5:03 to go in the half, The Bombers back on offense. Looks like they've got an issue over on the sideline. And they're taking a timeout because it's their quarterback running over to the far side. Something up with the quarterback. He was on the sideline, and the Bombers calling a timeout to get it dealt with. So I'm not sure whether he's got a nosebleed or whatever. But they needed somebody from the Hicksville training staff to run over. So when we come out of this timeout, and this, by the way, is the second timeout of so I don't know, Amy says it's hand to wrist, so I'm not sure whether he's got a cut or a strain that they're trying to tape up. Looks like they're still over there working on him. The Bombers are going to they're going to break huddle. Their backup quarterback, I believe, is number 3, Connor Skiles. But it looks like they've got number 5 in there, Austin Keese. They're still switching people around. 5:03 to go here in the first half. The Bombers have the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 7-yard line after recovering a Jake Greer fumble. And evidently they're going to let them get their personnel switched around. So here we go. And again, it looks like number 5, Austin Keese, going to take over the quarterbacking. Handoff. Still on his feet. I think that was number 26, Keegan Romine. So Romine gets him out of the hole a little bit and picks up about 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2. So the ball was at the 9-yard line after the fumble recovery. So 2nd and 2 now for the Bombers. Clock rolling, 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the half. And Brandt back in at quarterback. Handoff, not much there. I don't think that they had any real forward progress at all. So whatever it was that Brandt needed to have taken care of, they got it taken care of. He had to be out for one play, but he's back in now. No gain, as we mentioned. 3rd and 2, 17-yard line for the Bombers. Check their wristbands. Make sure they know what play it is they're running. And Brandt takes the snap. Brandt hands it off again. And this time, Romine fools nobody. And he's going to be dropped for a loss, and that's going to bring up 4th down, and the punting unit will come onto the field. Romine will get dropped way back at about the 12-yard line to make it 4th. Make that the 13-yard line. It'll be 4th and about 6. So standing on the goal line, and not a good punt at all, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Keese didn't get his foot into it very well at all that time. And they're going to say it goes out of bounds at the 43, and that's where the Aces will take over. 1st and 10, 2:41 left in the half. Aces up by 15 right now, 21-6. Let's see if they can make it 22 here before halftime. Good opportunity to work on the 2-minute drill. Greer hits him, hits Parker Thiel in stride. Thiel Gets around the corner. Thiel on the end zone, or on the sideline, and he takes a shot inside the 5. Parker Thiel got hit hard. Bounced right back up, though. Tough kid. But Parker Thiel gives the Aces another 1st and goal on the 3-yard line with 2.5 minutes left in the half. So we'll see what happens. Again, last time they were down in this environs, Greer fumbled the snap. Let's hope it doesn't happen to him again. Greer takes the caught on the lateral. Heads towards the end zone. Parker Thiel in from 3 yards out. Touchdown, Aces. So the Aces get the ball back, and it takes them about 8 seconds on the game clock to get into the end zone and go up 27-6. Victor will come out, see if he can make it 28-6 and put the Aces up by 22 points. Kick is up, and it's good. So Victor gives them another extra point. He's 4 for 4 tonight. And the Aces on top 28-6. 2:23 left to go in the half. And again, glad to have you here with us. Aces Field on this Friday night, week number 3 of the campaign. The final week of non-conference action. The Aces kick off the GMC portion of the schedule next Friday with a trip to Holgate to take on the Tigers. Holgate winners last week. They beat Waynesfield Goshen. So the Aces faithful. The student section running down. They're doing 28 push-ups now. Some of the coaches are like, oh, no, you don't do push-ups like that. You don't have your rear end up in the air that way. You got to flatten it out. Use your arms. Bombers coming back out onto the field as they get ready to take the Aces kickoff. Travian Tunis tees it up at the 40-yard line. Gets himself set. And it's caught by number 17 at the 40-yard line. And he makes the mistake of trying to go sideways, and he actually loses about 5 yards. Number 17, that's Destin McCartney. McCartney, just a freshman, and he made the freshman mistake because he caught the ball at the 40-yard line and got tackled back at the 35. So trying to find some running room, and the Aces catch up with him and bring him down for a net loss of 5 yards. So 1st and 10 for the Bombers on their own 35-yard line. 2:17 to go in the half. Brandt takes the snap, drops back, looks downfield, puts the ball in the air. Is that an interception? Or are they going to say incomplete? The Aces player stepped right in front, came up with the ball, and yep, it's a turnover. So Hicksville takes advantage of the second turnover of the night. They intercept the Bombers' pass, and here come the Aces up by 22 with 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the half. They've at the 45-yard line of the Bombers. They might be able to get it in one more time before halftime. Greer is going for the gusto and overthrows Sanderson. Logan Sanderson, as Greer was going to go for all the marbles there, but he overthrew him by about 3 yards. Makes it 2nd and 10. But like I said, the Aces are in the position right now. They can afford to burn it down. trying for the home run ball every once in a while. Greer, quick hitter. This one's caught. Still on his feet. He breaks through. It's going to be a foot race. Parker Thiel into the end zone again. Again, no flags. Oh, there is a flag on the play this time, though. There's a flag on the field back at the 45-yard line. And the camera person is correct. That is a hold on the Aces. And that's going to drop them back, so it'll be second and probably about 20 yards to go after they march it off. So Parker Thiel, a little holding to help him break free and get into the end zone. So the Aces, again, playing a lot smarter with a lot fewer penalties this week than last week, but they get caught that time with the holding. And the ball moved back to the Aces 45-yard line, second and 20 now. Greer puts Tunis in motion. And another, and that's going to be a false start. Yep. Tack on 5 more. Make it second and 25. So somebody on the line moving just a little too soon. So we're under 2 minutes to go. Minute 55. Second and 25 for the Aces. And Greer that's going to keep it on the ground. Greer still on his feet. Greer gets out to about the 45-yard line, so he gets back the 15 yards that they racked up in penalties. Make it third and 10. At the Bombers' 45-yard line. Clock still rolling, under a minute and a half to go in the half. Greer, a third and 10. Dumps it over the middle to Tunis. Tunis straight ahead. He's gone. I don't see any flags on the field this time as Peyton Tunis made the grab and he had a seam and he was just gone. No one was going to catch him. Peyton Tunis into the end zone from 45 yards out to make it 34-6 Aces. Victor comes out, see if he can go 5 for 5 in this first half. And he does. There's no doubt about it. When he kicks, that young man can kick the football. So the Aces into the end zone 5 times in the first 24 minutes. Still a minute and 12 to go before halftime, and the Aces now lead 35-6. A 29-point margin, which means that if the Aces score one more unanswered point, which I don't think they can do unless something weird happens, but yeah, if the Aces get a safety, Aces kick a field goal, Aces score another touchdown, they'll have that 30-point margin and the continuous clock will kick in. And as we have seen, because in the first game against Archbold, the Aces were on the other side of that continuous clock. And so things move very quickly, and it makes it really tough on a team to get back in. So after a pretty quick first quarter here tonight, things have slowed down a little bit in quarter number 2. Again, we're well over an hour here in actual time. Travian Tunis has the ball teed up, but he's not going to kick it this time. Caught back on the 20-yard line. Still on his feet. And a nice return out to midfield. That's number 1, Chase Reed, who has a nice return of the kick. I think it was Langham, number 8, that kicked the ball this time. So Langham kicks the ball downfield, and again, Chase Reed, the sophomore, makes the catch back at about the 20-yard line and returns it out to about midfield. So Bombers with the ball, 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. They're down by 29, 35-6. Snap, drop back, Brandt, boom. Brandt looking to throw, and he took just a little too long, and the Aces just swept him under. He gets dropped way back at about the 40-yard line. They're going to say the 41. And it'll be timeout Hicksville. So with 52 seconds, the Aces are going to take a timeout. I don't know if they're thinking, let's see if we can hold them here and get the ball back in decent field position with some seconds on the clock and maybe try to pick up that 30th point so we can have the continuous clock for the second half. Or maybe they just want to make sure that they don't let them.
We are an hour and 17 right now. It's going to be the exact same.
Well, so when all is said and done, well, we'll see.
Same length as
So our camera person is telling us right now we're in actual time. The first half here is taken an hour and 17 minutes. And the long first half down in Convoy was an hour and 20 minutes or so. So we're on about the same pace. But again, if the Aces get the continuous clock going in their favor at some point, we could have a very fast-moving second half. So after the timeout, the Aces have 2 remaining, by the way. 52 seconds left in the half. Brandt works the shotgun, takes the snap, drops back, looks downfield, gets the ball away. This time he's got a man open, and he just overthrows Siebenaller. Incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down in about 19. So a 3rd and 19. The clock stops on the incompletion, 46 seconds. So if they do not make a first down on this play and it brings up 4th down, I wouldn't be surprised if we see another timeout from the Aces. See if they can take another crack at it before halftime. Brandt dropping back. He's sending 4 guys down the field. Hit as he throws and incomplete. Brandt took a shot from Parker Thiel as he was letting go of the ball. And that's going to bring up 4th and 19. Clock stops with 42 seconds. And here come the Aces.
18.
And we'll see. They'll get the ball back, then who knows? See if they can put another score up before halftime and have the continuing clock working in their favor for the second half. Kick is up. And they're going to down it at about the 24-yard line. 31 seconds left. It'll be 1st and 10 Aces. Their own 24-yard line. And we'll see if Coach Lucas Smith will give his quarterback, Jake Greer, the green light. Unload. Greer. Shotgun. Rolls out. Quick handoff. Out to the 31-yard line for Langham. And the Aces will take another timeout. 25 seconds to go. Langham gets them 5. So it'll be a 2nd and 5 for the Aces at the 31-yard line when we resume play here shortly. Again, as we get ready for halftime, both the Edon Bombers and the Hicksville Aces marching bands are here tonight.
1 hour, 20 minutes. It's now longer than Crestview. It's now longer than Crestview. First half.
The Aces will break huddle. They can stop the clock one more time. There's one timeout remaining for the Bombers as well. And we'll see what Hicksville has come up with during the timeout. Ace in motion. They're going to send everybody down the field. Greer throwing it, and it looks like Parker Thiel was wondering what was going on. He might have felt that he got held or prevented from getting to where he needed to be, but no flags thrown. Down to 19 seconds now. Clock stops on the incompletion. It's 3rd and 5 for the Aces. They take another crack at it here. Rear again, dropping back. Puts it in the air. Oh, right through the hands of Parker Thiel. If he'd caught that, it might not have been a touchdown, but he'd have gotten some. And the Aces now are going to bring out the punting unit. 14 seconds left. So the Aces hoping to maybe be able to put some more points on the board. Greer, nice punt. And the Bombers are going to get into the end zone. And that's Chase Reed. Reed takes the kick all the way down. And they're going to put it on the board officially. No time left on the clock. 35-12 now, as the Bombers stave off the threat of the continuing clock. And this will be the last play of the half, as they're going to, as Brandt's going to try to kick the extra point. He puts it up, and no good. And so that's the end of the first half, and at halftime, it's the Aces leading the Edon Bombers 35-12, the score. We're going to take a break. We've got halftime entertainment from the Aces Pride Marching Band and the Marching Bombers coming your way, and I'll, of course, be back with all the second half play-by-play, so stay tuned right here on HIX-TV.